All right, what's up, everybody? So I have a pair of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift drivers here in my home game room, and I am having an issue with one of the driver's seats. As you can see, I have already taken the, 8, 9, 10 bolts out that come out of the back panel, the side panel, and the front, the other side. It's really easy to figure out. Once you have taken the torque bolts out, you can lift the entire seat up off of it. It is still plugged in, there's power, and I have a towel down there to stop anything from falling down into the box, the seat box below it that it mounts to. So basically what's happening here is this lever right here is not releasing the tension on a spring. It's a spring set inside here. I'm going to take this panel off and show you what's under here. And then I'm going to attempt to fix it and show you guys how to fix this problem, hopefully without having to buy a new seat kit for your machine. This should work for Cruisin Exotica, Cruisin USA, Fast and the Furious, obviously Drift. So let's get this off and I'll tune back in. All right, gang, so I have this bottom panel taken off. These 4 nuts right here come off these 4 bolts there, and then the other 2 down the bottom. Pardon all of the dirt and grime. I will clean this up. But, so you see this rod right here. This has a spring set right here. And I have a broken spring right down in there. So I'm going to attempt to take this rod out, take that one spring off the end, and see if that will fix the issue. You can see down at the very top right there, that little piece of busted spring. So what it's doing is it's keeping tension on this rod, and in order for the seat to be able to slide back and forth, you pull this lever, and it's supposed to release the tension on these springs, allowing it to slide along this bar. Believe it or not, that is what holds it in place, is just those springs and the tension on that rod to stop it from sliding once you adjust it to the position you want it in. So I've taken this little clip off right here, off the end of this rod. There's one on that end, and there's another one on that end. And I'm going to take the entire rod out and see what we're working with. Well, here's the issue. So I got the clips off the ends of this rod, and I was able to take the rod out, and I got a busted ass spring. So you can see it's broken there's 4 sections of this spring. The top 2 are broken and the bottom one is broken. There's only one piece of that spring holding on right there. So technically I'm supposed to order a new spring set, but I'm gonna see if I can just take off the sections of the spring that are broken, just leave that one intact right there, and see if it'll somewhat work. And if it doesn't, I'll just order a new spring set and I'll put that on and show you what it looks like. But in the meantime, this is what it looks like. It was on location, some arcade, some kids probably just went ham on it. But that's what's up. Let me get it off and then I will show you what happens next. All right, here we go. So I removed the 3 sections of the spring that are broken. You can see the old broken ends on the back side of this paddle. But I'm gonna try and half-ass it and put it back in there just with one spring to see how well it grips this, because that whole spring set slides the length of this rod, and that is what gives you the distance for adjustment to slide the seat back and forward. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna buy a new spring set, and when I get it, I'll document putting on the new spring set and putting it together. But for right now, I'm gonna put it back in like this, button it up, and I will show you what it does. Okay, I have the bar, this rod back in here, the clips on each side, right here and here. You can see I just have the one spring left back in here the way that it's supposed to be on. And it's important to know that when you put this on, these 2 like U-mount things have to go back on this bar on either side of your spring set so that it slides the spring back and forth. When you pull the lever up here, it'll release the pressure on that spring and you can then slide it. So I'm gonna button it back up. Got to line up the 4 posts on your rollers here. And there's 2 more down there and there. And when it's buttoned up, we shall see if it works. All right, here we go. All buttoned back up. 1 spring. Yeah, I said I was gonna clean it, but I lied because now I know that I will have to open this back up when I get my new spring set. But just to show you, sorry, I'm trying to hold a steady camera, this is not working. The slide works on the bottom side of it, but the 1 spring is not strong enough to hold it in place. That's why you need 4 of them in case you get like a, you get a 300-pound person on this thing. Those 4 springs are needed to stop it from sliding. So I will finish this when I get the new spring set, install it, and then we will be rocking and rolling. And now it's a little better. I have the seat, as you can see, mounted back on the base. These holes right here in the sides are where you put these torque bolts, and there's 3 down each side, 2 on the back. And now you can see, you can push it and slide it back and forth. It's got a little bit of friction on it, no big deal. So when I get the new spring set, I'll put it on and show you what it looks like. All right, gang, we're back. So as far as trying to half-ass it and leave 1 spring on this bar down here, right here, it does not work. So what I had to do was buy a new rod and spring set right here. It's all greasy inside the bag, but there you go. It's got the 4 springs. It comes with the whole piece, the rod and the little paddle. So all we have to do, once again, is take these little clips off the end of the rod here, and I'm going to swap it out with the new one and show you what it looks like before I button it up. So sit tight. Okay, new rod is officially in. Clips on this side, and then the clips back on this side. So I'll try to turn the light on to make sure you guys can see. Basically, these springs have to sit exactly the way they sit right now. Pardon all the mess, I still have to do some cleaning. And you can see when you got the paddle arm over here, oh, I still got a piece of junk in there I gotta get out. But anyway, so this piece on the bottom, these 2 U-shaped mounts have to slide on over the top of the spring. So when you put this together, you have to sandwich it together so that these are on either side of the spring on this rod right here. And it'll keep everything in place. And you have to make sure that these springs stay on this side and smash down on top of them right here so that they have some tension on them. And then when you twist the bar, it releases the tension on these, allowing that rod to slide, and that's what gives your seat the movement. So I'm gonna button this back up exactly the way that I just said, and then we are going to hopefully have a nice, smooth sliding seat. All right, I'm gonna show you the guts of this thing real quick because it's a pain in the ass to get it in, but here you go. There's the rod. You see how the springs are supposed to be set. You see how these U-mounts are set to be on either side of the spring set. And then here you go, there's the other side of the rod. And that is how it goes. And then these, just so you know, these 4 bolts right here, they connect you to the rollers. So you have to square up all these bolt holes with the bolts on the rollers, and you got to make sure that the spring set is stuck in there like that and all that good stuff. So I will wrap this up shortly. Finally finished. Here is the fully functioning, turned on second driver's seat of the Raw Thrills Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Here is the bar. You just pick this up, slides back and forth just fine, stays put super tight, and there you have it. So if you have any questions, drop them below. I will probably post some links as to where you can buy these parts. I did get them from Suzo Hap, so keep that in mind. And please don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, send me some money, cut my grass. See you on the next video. Thanks.